Greetings, fellow Obsidians of the vast Obsidian community. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Welcome to another video in the Obsidian for Noobs video series, featuring tutorials, tips, and tools for new users of the Obsidian Personal Knowledge Management software. In today's video, I'll be demonstrating a handy tool that is extremely helpful in selecting colors for use with CSS Snippets. The Color Selector is an online web application. I'll put the link in the video description. I had it created by an AI LLM at perplexity.ai. The app provides two ways to select colors. First, by a standard color picker, similar to the ones used in graphic software. And second, by providing a listing of 147 predefined colors that offer, for each color, a sample color swatch, the hex number code for the color, and the predefined word for that color. This is the one I use most, as it makes it easy to keep track of which colors I've used so that I can maintain color consistency within my vaults. If you do your own CSS styling for your Obsidian vaults, or if you want to learn how to create CSS snippets for use with Obsidian, you can view my video entitled The CSS Snippet Constructor web app for a more detailed discussion of that app. Both web apps are hosted by Perplexity AI and are completely free to use. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to all. Okay, I'm online and I'm at the Color Selector web app. There's two parts to it. The first part, as I mentioned earlier, is a custom color picker, the typical standard color picker that you see in graphic software. Simply click the button and you'll get that standard color picker. Select the color you want, click OK, and the hex code is provided here, and it's also copied to the clipboard. I'll open up Windows Notepad and I'll paste. And you can see the hex number that was pasted is the hex number here, which is the hex number code for this particular color. So you can easily select from a zillion different colors using the standard color picker here. The other option, and as I said, this is the one I use more frequently, is a listing of 147 predefined colors. Predefined in the sense that there is a word associated with each color, and you can use that word in a CSS snippet just as you can use the hex number code for the color. I'll scroll through the list quickly so you can get an idea of the variety of colors made available. It's quite a long list. And as I mentioned in my introductory statement, this really helps you keep track of the colors you're using so that you can maintain consistency. When you pick a color from the standard color picker, it's often easy to forget which one you used. But here, you can see exactly what it is. You know its name. You can see the color swatch. And you can keep track of what you're doing. For any of these, the name is given under the color and then the hex code. If you click on it, the hex code is copied to the clipboard. So again, in Windows Notepad, I'll paste. And you can see the hex number, FFDAB9, is exactly the number of the color I chose here, Peach Puff. Now again, remember, for these predefined colors, you can use the word for the color in lieu of the hex code in a CSS snippet. And I'm going to demonstrate that now with some CSS snippets. But in any event, that's the color selector. Again, two parts. The standard color picker, and then a listing of 147 predefined colors with the color name and the hex number. Right, the best way to demonstrate this is with CSS snippets, and the easiest way to do that is with the CSS Snippet Constructor. I made a detailed video on this web app previously. The name of the video is the CSS Constructor web app. I demonstrate just about every single CSS snippet that's in this app in that video. Here I'm just going to use one or two of them. So just as a quick run through here, to use this app, you select the snippet from the drop-down box. And again, there are 34 different snippets here that enable you to style various aspects of your Obsidian vaults. When you select the snippet, I'll do heading color. The code for that snippet shows up in the text box here. Now this particular snippet sets the color for heading 5 text to light sky blue. And you can see this is one of the predefined colors, so it uses the actual name of that color in lieu of the hex number code. Once you've got the code in the box here, you can click this button to copy it to the clipboard. Then you can open up a plain text editor like Windows Notepad and paste that code there. And now you have the code for the CSS snippet ready to be saved to your vault. Okay, I have a vault here. Let me put in some heading 5 text. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's in Obsidian's default white color using the dark mode. I'll take this snippet and I'll save it to the Snippets folder for that vault. All right, I'm in the Snippets folder for this test vault. Remember, when you save a CSS snippet, it must have a CSS file extension. By default, Windows Notepad puts a TXT extension on files it creates, and we have to change that to CSS. And we save it in the Snippets folder, which is in the .obsidian folder of your vault. Okay, once the snippet is saved, I open the vault. I go into Settings, Appearance. I scroll down to CSS Snippets, and I find that particular snippet. It's this one right here, and I enable it by clicking it on. And sure enough, we see the heading 5 text is now in that color, which was light sky blue, I think. Yes, light sky blue. Okay. So that's how the CSS snippets work. You select the snippet in the CSS Snippet Constructor from the drop-down list. When you select it, the code appears in the box. Copy that code to the clipboard. Paste it in a plain text editor like Windows Notepad. Save it to the Snippets folder in the .obsidian folder of your vault. And then go into Obsidian Settings. In Appearance, scroll down to CSS Snippets and enable that snippet by clicking it on. Now what we can do here is we can change the color in the snippet and resave it, and it will immediately take effect in our vault. So let's go to our color selector and pick a different color. Since that was bluish, let's go for something of a more reddish color. Let's go with this fuchsia. I'll click that. The hex code is copied to the clipboard. Open up my CSS snippet, and in place of light sky blue, I'm going to paste that hex code. Now, when I resave this snippet, we should immediately see this heading 5 sample text change color to fuchsia. And there it is. So that's how you can use the CSS Snippet Constructor and the Color Selector web apps together to style various aspects of your Obsidian vaults. Let's do the same thing, but use a color word now instead of the hex number. So I'm going to go back to the Color Selector, and let's go with a greenish color. Let's go with lime, and I'm going to copy the color name. I'm going to call up my snippet again, and in place of the hex code for fuchsia, I'm going to simply put the name of that predefined color, which is lime. Again, when I resave this snippet, we should see the heading 5 sample text in the vault immediately change to this lime color. And there it is. So that's the idea. Let's review the process again. I'll do it with another snippet. Let me get rid of that. Let's call up the snippet constructor. I'll clear the board. And let's see. Note title color. Let's try that. Copy it to clipboard. Open up Windows Notepad. Paste the text here. This CSS snippet changes the titles of the notes to light steel blue. So let me save this. As a new CSS snippet, I'll just put note title color as the file name, and I'm saving it to the snippets folder in the .obsidian folder of my vault. I'm going to open the vault, go into settings, appearance, scroll down, note title color, turn it on, and you can see the note title now changed into that, I think it was light steel blue. Yeah, light steel blue color. Now let's change that. Let's open our color selector and let's find something rich here. How about medium violet red? I'll click that. The hex number is copied to the clipboard. In place of the color name, I'll put the hex number. And when I save this snippet now, we should see the note title change to that new color. And it did. And again, in lieu of the hex number, if I want to use the word name for a color, let's see, let's do Rebecca Purple. Save it again. Oh, and there it is. Not a good choice, too dark. Let's do a light one. Hot pink. The way we're doing words. Let's try that. Okay, there you go. Okay, so to review, looking again at the CSS Snippet Constructor, you've got 34 different CSS snippets here. Most of them involve colors. There's a few that involve thickness of lines, but the vast majority involve colors. You can put the background color for the active tab, for the inactive tab in the main work area. You can color the folder names in the navigation panel, italics text, bold text, bullet sizes, and so forth. For the ones that involve colors, you can simply take the color that's provided in the snippet and replace it with a color that you select using the color selector. And again, I think you can see now after the demonstration why I favor the predefined colors. The ability to see it and go back to it and find that exact color, and also to refer to it by an actual word name rather than an obscure code, is really, really helpful in keeping track of what you're doing, and as I said, maintaining consistency of colors in your vaults. So you take a color from here, put it in the code for the snippet, save the snippet to your vault, activate it, and you can start to style and design various features and aspects of your vault. So there you have it, the Color Selector web app, a handy tool to be used in conjunction with the CSS Snippet Constructor web app. As I said in the introduction, if you do your own CSS styling for your Obsidian vaults, or if you want to learn CSS, using these two tools is a really easy, handy way to go about it. And remember, I have a video teaching you how to create and use CSS snippets on my YouTube channel. So if you really want to get into CSS snippets and learn the details of how to use them, that's a great place to look. Okay, fellow Obcitizens, that's all I have for now. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. I'll see you in the next video. Happy note-taking.